Okay, let's see what we can do with this rather boring piece. We can make something good out of it, hopefully. Very hot day today, folks. Hopefully it'll cool down soon. I've got my fan blowing in my lounge room. It's going to be a horrible day for this weather. I went to Manly this morning and it felt really nice there, or in the afternoon, early afternoon. See how we go with this. Let's see what we've got. We've got here Anaconda. So that's a camping pamphlet. We're just interested, not in this one, near the end I think is what we're interested in. So we just flick through these pages. This is the picture. So we're just going to take out this and we're just going to focus on this cool looking image. I don't like inflatables, folks. They're not good for the planet. They don't last. And they end up as fucking plastic pollution. I don't like plastic much, folks. Plastic is a horrible reprehensible. It's a capitalist maid servant, and it seems to fulfil the maid servant's role very well for the companies that use this shit. So you got to realise that plastic is just such a disgusting material. It has certain uses, but why do we need it, so much of it, you know? It's hard to avoid, I know, it's everywhere. You can't avoid it in certain circumstances, but you don't need to buy those inflatable shit. Anyway, that looks interesting. Doesn't look as good as I was hoping it would. Wondering if we could do a better one, or we're going to use this. But yeah, it's just a way of making money. In the end, plastics, they just don't go well with trying to save the planet. It's quite an evil use of plastics, the way we just become so reliant on them and so enticed by them. So I'm just going to throw this on the recycled pile. And they don't even, and places like China that used to recycle plastics for Australia no longer takes plastics. So when you're putting something in the recycle bin, it's not likely to be going to a good cause. All you're doing is just going through the motions, keeping your common garbage or normal garbage free of extra space. We haven't got room to throw recycled materials into the non-recycled bins, so we have to still go through the motions. And in the future, I'm sure we can find a solution to this problem, folks. But it's not good that we can't get our plastics recycled the way they should be. I'm actually thinking this looks shit. I can do a better job of it. It looks almost like a newspaper thingamajig. I'm just going to do some extra shit on it. Perhaps we could remove some of the background, but we're going to darken it here. Let's see how that looks. It looks a bit more saturated colour-wise. I don't like that, but I'll end up losing that foot. That foot looks pretty cool. And that stuff up there looks really nice. So it might look better than I think. Okay, out it comes. It's that one. In the old days, before they had plastic rings, we used to use old inner tubes as floaties. We used to use them as floaties. It was more better then than it is now, but now we're using plastic. But back then we made use of rubber, made use of old tire tubes, and it was still, unfortunately, the inflation place would get, or the thing that sticks out in the tire where the air goes in, that used to hurt, rubbing up against our legs but apart from that, it was good for the planet to reuse something like those old tire tubes. And apart from the inflation stick, or I don't know what to call it, where the air goes in, it sort of sticks out. That was the only complaint I had about those. But apart from that, it was a lot better than what we have now, where now we're just buying things. We're not consuming stuff like this, plastic. So, see how that looks. Yeah, not the greatest, but not the worst. I think now we can call this demo quits.